Hey guys, it's Bob Ferngren. I'm out on a walkabout. That's what my friends in Australia call it. And hello to my friends in Australia. Hope things unlock there soon for your health and sanity. And God bless you. Oh, it's a beautiful day in Florida. It's going to be a hot one today. You may have seen in the title residual income. Residual income. First of all, let's talk about what most people work for. Most people work for a check, for a paycheck, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that. Man is supposed to work. No offense to anyone. I promise you this isn't meant to be offensive, but with 10 million job openings, if you're taking $300 extra a week or whatever it is, and you're not working or working on something else at least, you got to check your values at the door because man is meant to work. Again, I'm not trying to offend you. I know the government is inducing people not to work by paying them more than they actually earned in their jobs. But guys, remember, what you do, how you think is what you become. You don't want to become a ward of the state. I'm just telling you, they're not going to help you get wealthy. They're going to keep you just from drowning. If even that, if even that. But this isn't really about that. But hopefully that, opens up your mind. A paycheck. That's what most people do. And what do they do to get that paycheck? They put time in to activities to get, fiat money or money back. Put time in to get money back. So let's say you're working 50 hours a week, and in that 50 hours a week they pay you whatever, $2,000. So you can divide that out and you can see what your net worth is. That's what the people who employ you tell you what you're worth. What is that, 40 bucks an hour? That could be thrilling to you. I'm not making judgments about what your net worth is, but I'm telling you that's the assigned net worth, right? Is take the time you're putting in and divide it into the actual pay you're receiving. So what are we doing to get that pay? We're giving up the time to get the money. We're giving up the time to get the money. Again, I'm not judging that or saying that's bad. This thing really wouldn't work if everybody laid down tomorrow and stopped working. But here's the deal. You guys know this already if you're following me at any length of time. Not everyone has ears to hear. I'm just trying to take, that there's 95% of people who it's difficult to hear these kind of messages. Their minds are closed or self-imposed limitations or whatever. Well, if that means 5% can take a message like this and do something with it, great. What if we can help 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10% of people really get breakthrough in their life? And of course, this whole thing is about financial education. That's really what it's about. Hey, remember, you never got that in high school, did you? No one told you a thing. No one picked up your clue phone to inform you that spending less than you earn is a good thing. No one taught you about budgeting in high school, did they? You have a budgeting class? Did anyone tell you about multiple streams of income or passive income or residual income in high school? Of course not. So here's the cool thing. You don't need a PhD. You don't need an MBA. You don't need a college degree. You don't even need a high school degree to go educate yourself and learn things like residual income, passive income. Okay, so we know that's what most people do. And what happens when, let's say, something happens to them or they have a desire not to be at work that day? That's correct. They don't get paid. So you have to put in the time. Excuse me. I think a gnat was messing around my nose. You have to put in the time to get the pay. Put in the time to get the pay. So here's a question. Would you rather work for money or would you rather have money work for you? So let's get into residual income. Residual income, to me, there's probably other definitions, is as simple as this. You've put time or money into something, and that time or money, a time slash efforts into something continues to pay you past the initial investment of time or money. So, what would that be like? Well, I mean, if you trust the stock market, you could say, you bought X amount of shares, different shares of things. So you made an investment. You don't have to do anything with it. You just got to know when to get in and get out. And that could be a form of passive or residual income because you can't really manage it other than the decisions of getting in and out. So that could be a form, right? Um, there's a whole crypto craze out there. Now, again, I'm not a financial planner. You got to figure this out, but I'm giving you ideas here. Like, how can I get passive income? Well, there's a whole crypto world out there. Um, I'm exploring things, but everything I do outside my plan A is always done passively and with the least amount of effort and energy I can put into it. So, again, I'm not recommending specific things, but me personally, my wife and I are in Forex. We're not Forex traders ourselves. We just linked up with a group that's doing great. We're in crypto um, and some other things. Another one, which I think is probably the best asset that anybody can have, is to be in real estate. And pretty much anywhere in the country today, in good neighborhoods, you're seeing massive acceleration, improvements in equity. A lot of that's being driven by one, need. There's not enough homes in this country. And two, historic and most likely never to be seen again low interest rates. And God forbid if they change the interest rates with what's going on in inflation. But think about that. In the real estate world, this is how it works. Let's say, you want to own property. So we'll start with the single family home idea. You identify a home you want to purchase. I strongly recommend you stay in good neighborhoods unless you want to manage a lot of other things. And I also strongly recommend property management companies. But I'm just giving you the big picture here, how residual works. So you buy this home for 250. You're going to put down 20 or 25% on that home. So let's say you put down 50,000. So what's your investment there? Is it 250 or is it 50,000? It's 50,000 and you control the asset. So your game now is to get enough rent out of that property to not only pay the mortgage, the taxes, and the insurance, but setting aside some money for repair and maintenance. If you use a property management company, that's usually 9 or 10%, and to have that property cash flow, meaning you're making more money in your rental property than all the expenses. And you got to really look at that annually, and you're generating income there. But here's the cool thing, and again, I'm not a prophet. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm only really looking at hard assets right now. So if these type of accelerations continue, I mean, it's realistic to assume that that home you bought for 250 is going to be worth 350 in 5 years. So you put $50,000 down. You had enough money plus that you were cash flowing positive on that property, and that home accelerated in value. So your $50,000 investment, which you've been paying interest and principal on, and some principal. So your positive cash flow, and now your equity's improved by $100,000. You could sell it then, and what would you make? You wouldn't make 100,000 because you put 50,000 in. You'd make approximately 50,000. And this has nothing to do with taxes or anything. So think about that. You don't manage it. You got a property management company. You got to come up with 50,000 for the down payment. You got the right tenants, which is why you need the right property management company. You got the rent priced right so that it covers all your expenses plus, and now you play the acceleration game. Well, what if it doesn't accelerate a lot? Well, would you rather have that $50,000 in the bank? I mean, they're telling us inflation is 6, 8%. I think only fools believe that. Inflation's probably running closer to 10 to 15%. That's my opinion, but I watch this stuff all the time. So if you had that 50,000 just sitting in the bank and inflation is, let's just say 10%, that means every year 10% of 50,000 is what, 5,000. That's how much less your money's worth. It still says 50,000, but your buying power 1 year from now is really 45,000. Isn't that true? I mean, there's nowhere I go where prices aren't through the roof. Are you experiencing massive inflation? What's another form of residual income? Here's the cool new thing that's happening is this whole active world on social media. People are monetizing their energy on social media. What a great idea. Now, you can do that in the form of, YouTube. You're pumping out content all the time. And remember, you created that content once, but it's there. It's timeless. It's always there. And, that's creating followers, interest. If you have a product or service you order, obviously, the more views, the more sales you get, right? But you only did that once. That's kind of cool. We were searching for years and finally found a few months ago an opportunity in nutrition that works the same way. It's all social media driven, and we have products. We do provide services, but we don't charge for those services. But we have products for health and wellness related. Pretty much everything you need to live a healthy lifestyle, weight management, workout products, right? So we're constantly building our personal brands, creating interest in us and what we're doing. Some people get interested in what we're doing, and some people want to do what we're doing, whether that's buy products or in some cases, people want to do the business. Now, in our world, when they want to do the business, that opens up the world of residual income. So there's a variety of things out there, and really, it isn't for me to tell you what to do. The one thing I will tell you is don't waste time. The thing is accelerating. I mean, you guys are seeing 15-year-olds become millionaires through social media. You're seeing these young kids figure out crypto and the things they're doing. What do they call them? The ape army. Those guys over on Reddit who are like blowing up the old timers on the stock market. I mean, people are hustling this new economy, and they're doing it right. I'm not talking about doing anything illegal or immoral, but I'm just saying, look, we're kind of in a shifting world right now. And those who figure out passive income, residual income, and particularly those, I really believe this strongly, who have done personal branding, which to me, here's personal branding 101. Be yourself. Just be yourself. I'm just being myself. I mean, I don't have a script right now. I knew that I wanted to talk about residual income. I know enough about it that I'm probably dangerous. I'm telling you, you do your own research. I'm not your financial planner. What I want to do is raise people's lids. Because if this shift happens, let's just say this fiat money thing, listen, okay, somebody raise their hand, please, right now, thinking that printing money forever is a good idea. Printing money that's backed up by nothing is a good idea. Well, of course, that's going to cause higher inflation. Of course, this thing is going to have some hugely adverse effects. This has never worked, by the way, long term. And again, pandemic aside, you got to get out of the mindset of everything is bad or good or worse or better because of the pandemic. Listen, I'm not going to go down the pandemic trail, but my point is that people kind of froze. We accelerated during this pandemic. We accelerated our personal branding. We accelerated our investments. We're aggressively looking at expanding our real estate portfolio. We're looking at all sorts of options to create more and more passive income. But here's how we're grounded. Here's how we're grounded. We use our number one business, which is that health and wellness business I told you about, to create income. We then put that in the bank short term as we decide what passive slash residual businesses that we can purchase, that we can invest in, buy more of, whatever. Guys, I feel like I'm Paul Revere sometimes. Things are changing, the world is shifting. Get ahead of this thing, get yourself some residual income. Have a great day. God bless you. Let's go.